towards Erik ten Hag will begin, and they're going to begin now. See the right man, Robbie Mustoe?
Blimey. You know what? It's not looking like he is. And this is off the back of last year when we are the same people saying they've got a good manager now. It's going in the right direction. They win the League Cup. They get to the FA Cup final. They finish third place. And this season, they have that kind of progression where we're like, OK, they can forget about firing managers, stick with this guy, and hopefully the signings will come together and they'll get better. It's just bewildering how far away they are from Man City right now. They've gone backwards from last year. So then, you know, Lee Dixon and us and Graham Rousseau and everybody else starts to think, well, is he the right guy? And when you get decisions made in terms of the lineup today, it's like, wow, you are scratching your head, like, what's he trying to do? To be fair, he tried something different tactically with he had a different system with the ball, without the ball. It didn't really work. There was a couple of moments they had in terms of transition going forward. I look at the injury list, and yeah, there's some injuries there, by the way, but really in terms of players that would get in the side straight away, Lisandro Martinez, good defender, good signing. He would definitely play back there. And Luke Shaw. I mean, Casemiro's out. Is he kind of up to it nowadays? So it's only a couple of players, Rebecca, really. So why are they so far away? I am going to say it again, but I'm fed up of saying it. Everything wants tearing down in the football side of the football club. The football side, director of football, it was Ed Woodward, it's John Murtagh. Everything needs looking at again. Until that happens, it's going to be difficult for any manager.
Just a side note, you mentioned Casemiro, and you say, you know, is he up to it anymore? He signed a 4-year contract at Manchester United on a fortune, and he's only into season 2, and already, and you're not the only one questioning whether or not he is still up to it. Tactically, before the game, he said, this is why I'm doing it for tactics. In-game management as well. Many people questioning some of his substitutions, taking off Højlund to Booze at Old Trafford, leaving the likes of Rashford on, waiting right till the end to put on 2 attackers in Anthony and Anthony Martial. Your thoughts, Rob?
A bad day for Erik ten Hag, Rebecca. He tried something, it didn't work. The problem he's got is that the Manchester derby has become the Manchester mismatch. It's no longer competitive. We remember back in the days when Sir Alex Ferguson was there, when this derby, there was only ever one outcome, and United were going to win. There's only ever one outcome now, and City are going to win. And that's the problem he has now. Rob's talked about the players that are playing and not playing, and tactically how you set up. Most of the players are his choices. Most of the players that are not delivering are his choices. Now, I look at the top 8 teams in the league, Rebecca, where Manchester United sit 8th at the moment. Of all those teams, Manchester United play the worst football. There's no style, there's no structure. Manchester United have a -5 goal difference.
Same as Palace, that's same as Crystal Palace.
Everton have a -4 goal difference. So something's not going right. Now, I would say, OK, certain things, you know, the club at the moment and the sale and the ownership. Name me one Manchester United player who's playing well. Name me one who you say is, unfortunately.
Got a couple of goals in midfield.
Banana has moments. Højlund has moments, but he still hasn't scored a Premier League goal.
So Manchester United are a moments team now.
Correct. And if they, OK, devil's advocate, let's say they do fire Erik ten Hag. Who wants the job of all of Erik ten Hag's players, as Robbie just said?
It's interesting, Rebecca. Yes, it's a great question. But there is somebody out there that could help. There probably is. When you look at the goings-on at Tottenham Hotspur, they plucked a guy, Ange Postecoglou, and it was the right guy, and it's a dream ticket, and he's changed it.
But is the structure above him better? Is the structure above Postecoglou better than it is at United?
I don't know if it is. But then my point is, there probably is the ideal guy somewhere, Rebecca, somewhere. Roberto De Zerbi was the right guy at Brighton. He's done an amazing job. Is it reminiscent of like the mid-90s with Sir Alex Ferguson, where he's tore up the club, they got the right guy in, and he steadily starts to rebuild this team?
Wasn't this what ten Hag was supposed to be, wasn't it?
Well, maybe the right guy. And listen, we're not picking from a lot of options here, but maybe there is somebody out there that can get this club by the scruff of the neck. And by the way, I'm pessimistically thinking that ownership's not going to be any improvement in terms of the club structure and the recruitment. But maybe there's a guy out there, a manager, that can somehow, at this huge club with big expectation, do a better job and get more out of a squad.
Just one more point I want to make, because you were both talking about it while we were watching the closing stages, and John and Lee were talking about it. Mason Mount. They bought him in the summer. They really went after him. He was not a player that was not wanted by any others. Other clubs wanted him, but they absolutely went for him when arguably they didn't need him. Is he everything, basically, that is Manchester United right now in one player.
A great example of the poor recruitment that's caused the team a problem. Now, I have a little sympathy for Mason Mount because he's coming into a team, Rebecca, with no structure, with no style of play. And so he can't find himself. He doesn't know his position. He doesn't know when he's attacking. He doesn't know when he's defending. He doesn't know when he's pressing. He needs a structure to get the best from himself, as many other players do.
It's another Ten Hag thing, really.
Structures come from the manager.
I mean, look at some of the players, again, at Tottenham that were out of the picture with the previous managers have come in and looked like, wow, I didn't know this guy could do this. Mason Mount can do it. It's up to Erik Ten Hag to find the right place and the right structure to get the best out of him. I'm not sure putting him on the bench in a game like this and playing Christian Eriksen and a couple of others that made the side is the best way of trying to improve this team.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.